Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Layton. Newport Beach, it's an international tourist destination known as a playground for the wealthy, a great place to live, and there's a lot going on there, but it's hard to have fun when you're strapped for cash, and you wouldn't think that much about the city, but when a quarter of your money is going to pay for old debts, it's something to be looked into. With us now is the mayor of Newport Beach, Diane Dixon.
Nice to be here, Leslie. Yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
Glad you're here. A lot going on, a lot of revitalization going on in the city, a lot of issues about public safety and services, and also this big looming unfunded pension liability, which we'll get to at the end.
Okay. Well, I'll be happy to get into that, but let me just kind of talk about what's going on in Newport Beach, and a lot of exciting things are going on, and I'm very proud to serve as mayor this past year, just kind of winding down. I started as mayor at the first of the year with 5 goals: fiscal rigor, financial responsibility, fiscal discipline is really the word I use, economic revitalization in some of the key areas of our city. I'll talk a little bit about that in Balboa Village and Mariners Mile. Number 3 is protect our harbor and our waters. That's fundamental to our economic vitality, our economic foundation. 4, public safety, continue to protect the people, fire and police, and our services to protect the people in Newport Beach. And then public-private partnerships is really important to me. Nothing to do about financial issues as much as building strong communities. I firmly believe when the community is involved in supporting some of the more discretionary opportunities in arts and culture, when the community is involved in helping to build our libraries or our community centers or our museums, it's a stronger community. We all have skin in the game, if you will. So
some of this is playing out in some of the economic revitalization programs. A lot of exciting things going on. Tell us about the different areas, throughout the city.
Well, yes, I represent District 1, which is the Balboa Peninsula, which is the oldest part of Newport Beach, 110 years old. That was where the original City Hall, even before the City Hall that was demolished recently, was down at Newport Pier. So it's one part of the city that has been allowed to grow and expand within the existing structures of the city at the time. There's a lot of opportunity, a lot of culture. It's the soul of Newport Beach. I'm so proud to represent that area. So just bringing it forward to current week, just this week, our city council approved unanimously an important private development of the iconic Balboa Village Theater.
Everyone's rooting for that theater to be something.
Yes.
So who's involved with this?
Well, we unanimously agreed to award the sale of the property, and the city owns it, bought it about 20 years ago, and had fits and starts with a private foundation. It did not work. So I was very supportive of letting a private owner take it over, buy it from the city, and now it's in their hands. The Lab Holdings, they've done a lot of iconic cultural neighborhood revitalization here.
Lab Holdings as in the lab near South Coast Plaza, and some revitalization Fullerton.
Well, another city, Anaheim, San Juan Capistrano, San Clemente. Some of these iconic structures of these communities have been repurposed with their original, the bricks and mortar soul of that original intention.
Another area we're seeing this, Lido Marina Village.
Yes.
It used to be like the place to go, and it kind of...
And it will be, no.
And it kind of went away, and now it's back.
Well, and I'll give a plug to DJM Development Company. They just opened in the Pacifica Center in Huntington Beach, and then they've been now finishing up in Lido Marina Village. Many stores are now open. We have Nobu Restaurant opening before the first of the year, and 2 or 3 other really fun high-end restaurants, wonderful stores, iconic stores. Serena and Lily is just finishing opening up. It's really going to come back to the way it was. And so with a combination of a new hotel, the Lido House Hotel on the side of the old City Hall, will be open next summer. So we have a boutique hotel, we have Lido Marina Village, Balboa Village. A lot is going on.
And this is all good for revenue coming in, but the revenue coming in is still stressed when you consider how much unfunded pension liability and things that were never completely paid off. You talked about the City Hall being rebuilt. There's debt on that too.
Well, the larger issue that is not of our making. It really came from Sacramento probably 15 years ago, what's driving the unfunded pension liability. And if we didn't have that, in 2007, the unfunded pension liability in Newport Beach was 0. Today, because the stock market crash in 2008 and 10, lower returns, investment policies of CalPERS, the California Public Employee Retirement System, when they projected 15% and then 7.5% when the returns are actually 0.065, that gap has to be made up at the city level. So when I said it was 0 in 2007, it is now north of $500 million. As we're sitting here, it's going up by millions of dollars. And so we have to get our arms around it some way, but we have no way as a municipality, or does any city in California have a way, because these are locked in contracts. So what you're going to be hearing more and more and more, including successfully managed cities as Newport Beach, is we have to start trimming. We have to cut. It's going to crowd out the payments to CalPERS to fund unfunded pensions. We can make the current retirement. It's the people who have been retired. And because we're an older city, we have 900 retired employees. Thankfully, they live long, but we're paying them. Most employees in the state of California on pensions are making more in their pension payment than they did in their base salary. Someone's got to pay that.
Even with cuts, at what point does what you owe catch up with making a real difference in the services that the city receives?
Well, you're right. We've been kind of paying as you go and cutting here and cutting there, and it's been those cuts have been invisible, really. But it's going to start having an impact because we have to ramp up our payments. We have an obligation that we have to pay, and there's no relief in sight. So our revenue picture, let me just say, is very strong. And as long as we continue to invest public and privately in Newport Beach, the development we just said, then our home values increase, our assessed values increase. Our only source of revenue, and this is really important for the city of Newport Beach, is our property tax, share of our property tax, and sales taxes and hospitality taxes. No income taxes. That we get a share of all, 17% property, 1% sales, and all of the hospitality. That is what funds all of the bills we have to pay.
So what do you do moving forward to ensure the health of the city?
Okay, keep investing in our city. We want people to visit. They spend money. They will buy expensive cars. They live in expensive homes. We want to, that is really important to keep up that quality of life that people want and expect in the programs and services. So we have to calibrate it, measure it out, keep the people coming in and spending money and investing in their own property, but managing that money carefully. We only have a $200 million general fund budget.
You've talked about the obligations, the contracts with the workers that are being paid out under the unfunded pension liability. What about efforts to move forward to change the way things are done in the future to avoid greater compounded obligations?
Well, a lot of it, our hands are tied. A lot of it is state law. A lot of these are every employee has a contract with an employee association, so they would all have to be negotiated. Some of the good news, the changes that have been made over the last 5 years, employees are paying a higher percentage towards their pension, but it's probably not enough.
Just real quick before we go, so we have about like 30 seconds. What's being done to protect the beaches? I know that you have a problem with the tide rising in some of the areas, Balboa Island, for instance.
Well, seawalls. Talk about capital spending. That's about a $100 million project. No reserves for that. We are starting to take care of that, and that will come out of our capital spending requirements. But that's really important. Seawalls around Balboa Island and some parts of the peninsula to raise the cap about another foot and to protect the seawalls.
Diane Dixon, Mayor of Newport Beach, thank you for stopping by to bring us up to date on. There's so many things to talk about.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Glad you could join us. I'm Leslie Layton.